floating on a dream, 'cause I'm falling high. I'm falling high. Floating on a dream, and I'm falling high. I'm falling high.
Paid so many dues on my self-credit. I sacrificed my exes for these treasures.
I'm here with a man who earned a scholarship to private school, studied for an economics degree at UCL, has his own video production company. He's got everyone talking about how much they'll sell their partner for right now. He's got millions of views on YouTube, got the strap on lock like a lesbo and food like Tesco. He's many man's favourite rapper. I'm here with a man like Gfrsh. How you doing?
Big up, man. Big up. That's a lot there, boy.
You've been busy, right?
Yeah, I've been trying, just trying.
You know what I'm saying?
Put some work in.
Yeah, how's life for you right now?
It's interesting. It's interesting. I think it's an interesting space to be in. I think that kind of just getting older, I suppose, and learning and changing and feeding yourself change, I suppose. Yeah, so it's interesting for me.
Floating on a dream, and I'm falling high. I'm falling high.
But I'd be a liar to say I want addicted car with every hit I'm getting higher.
We all have like idiosyncrasies and like just things that make everybody unique. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that the image that's projected, that we project of ourselves sometimes, is not necessarily a true one. So I wouldn't say I'm particularly different. I'm just me. That's all I can be. I'm just made up of a whole bunch of weird stuff. I can see how I came together. In a sense of, obviously, as you mentioned, me going to private school, but then growing up on my estate and all of that kind of stuff, and being around certain people one minute and then other people another, I think will make me just a bit different. But I think everybody's probably got like things that are unique to them, and you wouldn't expect them to do. Like me meditating, no one expected that, because I talk about money and all the rest of it, women and fast cars. But yeah, I meditate.
You're getting a lot of love out there.
A little, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of love. But surely that's inspiring you to...
Exactly, that's what spurs us on. And for me, like, that's what Falling High was about. It was as much as like the love is a good thing, that's what keeps you going. But sometimes that's not enough to keep you in. I'd be a liar, because with every hit I'm getting higher, floating on desire. It's like every time, and then when I said hit, I meant song, and then elevating and progressing, and that progress that you make keeps you in. And then also the fact of a hit in terms of feeling like it's a drug. So when you take a hit and then you actually get that elevation and get high from whatever drug you're taking. And I think sometimes that love and stuff gives you a full sense of security, maybe.
Okay, now I mean, there's your personality, but what about your actual rapping style?
I think with me, obviously, I take pride in the technical aspect and the poetic aspect, I'd say, in a sense of like things having double meanings and it being more complicated than it's first put on the surface of just listening to something. So maybe I'm different in that sense. Like some people call it just punchline rap. I like to think of it as a bit more than that. I mean, I was flamboyant. When I first came out, I was flamboyant at a time that nobody else was. I first came out when like Skinny Man and stuff were doing Council State of Mind, and I came out doing a total opposite with like a song called Chicks and Cars or something ridiculous. So it was like, I just always just do me, and as long as you do you, I think you'll always stand out to a certain extent.
Did you ever get caught up in that battle rap thing?
I did, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got had up one time, you know. It was the worst day of my life. Oh my God. It was so horrible. I mean, I probably shouldn't have been up there anyway. I was probably rubbish at the time. And then there was this guy, he was good, and he cussed me. I had a Prada bag on, and he said something about Prada and P. I got it from Peckham Market or something horrible that made everyone laugh. And then, you know, like, it was all I could hear was like cackling. And then when I went home, I felt like, you know, like when you see in the movies when they just drown their sorrows in whiskey and order like 5 prostitutes or something to make them feel better again. That's what I felt like doing at the time. But I got over it and we're here now. It's cool.
You said you paid your dues though.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
to be a success? Like, what dues have you paid?
Do you know what? And in saying that, it wasn't to say I paid my dues to be a success. It was like I've paid my dues to just at least have some credit, like give me something. And that was like talking to the scene, the industry, the fans, everybody, because I think just as human beings, we need that response and that feedback and that just to know that it's worth your time and effort. Even if I'm not your favorite rapper, put me somewhere. Just respect me, please. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes, as much as there are loads of people that do, a lot of the times you just feel like there's all these people that don't, and that's what's slowing you down. So it's just me. It was me airing out my frustration. But in terms of paying my dues, it's just I put out mixtape after mixtape, consistent quality and quantity, in my opinion. And I just feel like, do you know what? Like, this is my time. Like, please let me just have my time. Do you know what I'm saying? I describe myself as greedy because people make out like wanting to be successful is like a bad thing sometimes, you know, like they do. I've been always told I'm greedy and, oh, life's not always about this, that, and the third. And it's true, it's not. So I just said greedy like in a tongue-in-cheek way. Not that I'm actually like a horrible greedy
But what is
person.
it you want? What is it you actually want?
I have like high expectations of myself to the point that I will never achieve what I actually want to because they're probably, they're too high. I don't know why. I've just always been like that. I just always wanted to be the best, the biggest, the top. So that's what I want. I want the top, and I know that 20, 30,000 isn't the top.
I'm a L-O-N-D boy, yeah, I'm a hustler. On top of the world, don't ask what I'm under.
I was saying in another interview that there's so many aspects to what makes a good rapper. You would be a fool to say you were the best because it's also based so much on other people's opinions. So your opinion is only one voice at the end of the day. So I wouldn't say that I'm way better or whatever else. In my own humble opinion, as much as how ironic this sounds, I would say I'm way better than everybody. But it's just my voice, and who cares what I've got to say? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're looking at a pilot. I give you the program to next year's flash. Tell them I'm a
I think I've realized it more so in the past year or so that I'm the guy that has the creative license, if you see what I'm saying, while also having the ears of a lot of people, because I think it's one of those things here, you either have to forego creativity for popularity or vice versa. And I think I've got like a good balance where I've got people from all corners of the different sectors or sub-genres within hip-hop listening to me, from the streets and the hardest audience, or more pop-orientated fan like that listens to Tiny, or a more artistic person that may not listen to any mainstream rap and just likes those niche rappers. I have like pockets within all of those places. So I think I've just got a big wingspan and just pushing the boundaries of creativity, I think, in UK rap for me, where I think I sit.
You say, maybe you could have been a stockbroker.
Yeah.
Right? So if you was like the Wolf of Wall Street and you had like what would be your motivational message to people?
Actually, this is more advice than a message, I suppose, but I think it would be to make whatever you're doing in your life. Do you see what I'm saying? I think you have to. I think you kind of have to be obsessed with whatever you're doing. And it sounds crazy because it is unhealthy, but I think that's the only way to really get to where you really want to get to if your ambitions are that high. So if you set your sights that high, then boy, be ready like to be falling high, as the song says. Because at some points you will feel like you're going backwards or going nowhere and all of the rest of it. And you have to basically sacrifice everything to get there. You know, when you're just working so hard that that's all you're doing, there's not that much time in a day to even get that reflection time. Do you see what I'm saying? That probably only comes when I write. So you just kind of wake up, go through the motions, and it's just, as long as I know I'm active and being active and chasing my dream, then that's pretty much it, to be honest. When I was in primary school, I knew I just wanted to be smart. There was another girl in my class, and like she put up her hand, she'll know the answers, and where it's like we're competing, and I'm like, I can't have her being the top of the class. So my thing was that I'd steal the maths books, take them home, be working through them in my own time. Like I've just been on it. I've just been like that. It's just the way I am. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's just the way I am.
Competitive, right?
It's not even competitive all the time. It's more just knowing you have to work. You just have to do it. Like even when they say that it takes like 10,000 hours to actually become good at something and all the rest, and then I was sitting there thinking, wow, now I can see how much better I am than when I first started, just through those hours of practice. I mean, like just to rap of 16, I've read books about speeches, so just write about oratory, about poetry, about English, about writing, form, structure, everything. Like that's just what I'm like.
I never came in this game for rap. I came to sign the checks. I've always been a boss. I've already had success. I got love for all my peers, and I show them all respect. But I think it's time I told them all. I think that I'm the best. I think that I'm the best.
Do you know what's even harder now is competing with people that don't do what you do in your vein. If it was more like, oh, these like technically sick rappers are up there, then it would be like, okay, we just need to think of better lines and ways to put stuff. But do you know what? It's me competing with how to get my message across in a more simple, concise, and universal way. And that has come from me understanding that there are people up there that are what I would deem basic, but how dare I, because they've reached more of the masses than I have. So technically they're a better public speaker or communicator than myself. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think I have to learn from them. So that's where I'm at now.
Go on, who?
No one in particular, just the game.
How would your closest friends describe you?
Do you know what? I think weird, you know. And I've come to accept that because too many people have said it, so I must be like, oh, you're just weird, you're just different. There's no one like you, no one thinks like you. And I think, yeah, maybe I don't know where I got it from. You can either be super rich and have everything, or the world can find balance, because in balance we'll find peace and everything else. Then I'd rather have that all the time. You know what's mad is in balance, it's needed. All these things that we deem as important wouldn't be. They just wouldn't be, because nothing would supersede something else, because it's always equal.
If you could fill a swimming pool with anything in the world, what would you put in that pool?
Money today.
If money wasn't an object, what would you put in the pool?
Women.
So what new music is there to look out for right now?
There's the Alpha EP, which Falling High's taken from. So yeah, that's going to be out on iTunes soon. It's got an interesting project. It's insightful, in-depth, and yeah, it's definitely something you should listen to.
So you got other tunes on that EP that are going to drop in a while that people ain't heard?
Oh, most definitely. You've only heard one. Yeah. There's a lot more to come, trust me.
And you're as excited about those as this Falling High, because it's getting love?
A lot, I think maybe even more so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So when are you going to be selling out O2?
Shit, you know what? As I said, I'm Falling High. Fuck knows what the future holds. I just pray that I hold it. Like, I have no idea. I just hope that that's something that is going to be possible one day. But when, only God knows.
Come like fuck knows what the future holds. I pray I hold it. My past won't let me go. Presently though I'm focused. Couple niggas flocked. Care if I ain't knock the door, they'll close it. They wanna cut our scene. Believe that.